right, here I am. I'm reporting it alive again. Alive on the other side of the frickin' planet. The other side of the planet. This beach out here is a long beach. It's probably the longest beach I've ever seen in my frickin' life. And we tried to walk. We walked as far as we could until we were about ready to fall over. And then headed up to the main strip. This place called Huahin. Huahin. And a lot of different people pronounce it differently. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. I went looking around some shops. Sarah got her nails done, so I just sat down and drank coffee, and now I people watched, which is always a great sport here. Holy shit. But anyway, I got a lot of emails. And yeah, I do keep tabs on what's going on in North America and the world. I just do. I can't stop myself. I think most people are probably silly for not keeping tabs on what's going on, so at least you got some kind of a heads up if you need one, right? I've been sharing some stuff online on the community page that I think some people might be curious to look at and get a feel for what might be going on. But anyways, Trump, he sure is the master troller, isn't he? It's amazing to me how he can trolling people so easily. He's talking about Canada becoming the 51st state. Meanwhile, all he's doing is freaking trolling. And what happens? The Canadian politicians are all knee-jerking and making videos to reply to it. Oh my God, you guys are so weak. Holy shit. But anyway, that's kind of funny going down. I'm getting a shit pile of emails of people saying that Canada's going to merge with the U.S. Anyway, it's kind of funny, amusing. What else? What else? Just so you guys know, I'm going to tell you how many channels I follow online when it comes to the dominating topic we have on this channel, which is the forest people, the Sabe people, the Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. The number of channels I follow online when it comes to this topic is 0. Got it, you guys? 0. I don't listen to anybody with any kind of a channel at all when it comes to this topic. I listen to all of you. That's what I do. I don't promote anybody that wants to be promoted. I don't promote people who want to have a YouTube channel and a following. We got nothing in common. All right? We just don't. But I don't follow other people's channels. I take note of people's knowledge. Listen to that. Somebody screamed talking on their phone over top of our place out of this whole entire place. There's only one place that somebody yelled talking on the phone. It's got to be above me. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. Whatever. You know how I am with my background sounds. But anyways, I've had a few emails in the past of people getting caught up in all the bullshit that people get caught up with in the Bigfoot Sasquatch community, which I'm not a member of, no matter what you think. And recently I've been accused of taking people's comments down or taking sides, and I'm not on anybody's side. I don't watch Bigfoot channels. I don't. Not one. There isn't one you can come up with that I follow. That being said, just so people know, when people when the people drag my name into the Bigfoot community bullshit, it's a waste of time because I'm not in. I don't know what's going on. I'm not up to date. I know where people have gone and how far their rides have gone when it comes to this topic, and if they got knowledge to share, they've shared it. I've seen it. But I'm just not a member of the BS. Just so you guys know. Anyways, I know it might have been that ramble didn't make any sense, but it will to the people who have emailed me with concerns of me being caught up in their drama, which I have no knowledge of. None. I'm not in. Now, moving along. Here's one funny one I got to share with you guys before I get to the emails. So last night, I think there's 4 different channels here where we're staying on the television, which are in English, and one was some kind of European news channel, and they were doing a docu-news show on the cocaine gangs of Holland and Germany. And it was almost comical. You got these little shits, these little gangster shits, and you can tell they're all from other countries. I don't know which one's originating from, but anyways, we'll just say they are not Dutch and they're not German nationals. They're these little freaking immigrant gangsters, and they've gotten to the point they are successfully blowing up doorways and blowing up cars and shit, and they're shooting each other. They're threatening politicians. They killed an investigator. And why do I laugh? I'm not laughing at that, but I'm laughing at it. Just how embarrassing the law enforcement must be, particularly in Germany. I got to share this with you guys because I had a handful of German nationals on my salmon boat last summer, and they're all explaining to me just how much of an absolute embarrassing shit show that country has become. And they were watching, and they had on the security cameras, they're showing these little pukes, these little shits, blowing up ATM machines, right? They're blowing them up. And the money's all flying all over the place, and they got backpacks, and they're picking up all the money. It's all on security cameras. And then they went on to say, in total, so far, there's been 3,000 ATM machines stolen in Germany. What? And right away, I burst out laughing my face off like it was a joke. Sarah's looking at me. She's like, what's so funny? I go, are you kidding me? What are they talking about? I looked at Sarah and I go, can you imagine being in that police department, being a cop in Germany? Okay, listen, fellas, we're up to our 3,000th ATM machine getting stolen, blown up and stolen. I'm not quite certain yet, but because there's been 3,000, it might be an idea to stake out some ATM machines with some officers and catch them. I might be wrong, but maybe, possibly. Do you know what I mean? Like, instantly I came to like some of our, our older members here. Do you remember that show, Hogan Heroes? Remember the German Nazis? They're in the war camp. It is a comedy show, and they're always making fun of the guards and the Colonel Clank. And remember Schultz the guard? I see nothing, right? As soon as I heard them make that, and it was an honest statement, 3,000 ATM machines stolen in Germany to date. Haven't caught him yet. I instantly thought of Schultz from the show Hogan's Heroes. I see nothing, right? Oh my God. I'll tell you what, I was laughing at Sarah and I go, are you kidding me? You put me in that country, give me a week, I'll have those pricks caught. They're telling you what the ultimate bait is. I mean, come on, you guys. They can't be that stupid. The cops can't be that stupid. 3,000 ATMs stolen in Germany and they can't catch them yet. Holy shit, there's one of two things going on there. They hire blind and deaf cops, or the cops are in on it. One of the two, right? One of the two. Anyway, there's my opening rant for the day. Now, what do we got? Besides this echoing voice above me outside. I know you can't hear it, but I can. It's driving me bonkers. All right, this email is titled, Truly from Florida with a Scary Moment in Georgia. I think that might be a typo because your name is Trudy. So I'm guessing your title was supposed to be Trudy, not Truly. Hi, Steve. Nope. You just typed Truly again. It's Truly again with an intense experience while on vacation in Southwest Georgia. I will do the best I can as I'm not good at writing, so here it goes. I have been talking to an old friend from 40 years ago in Prescott, Arizona. I had the idea to have him meet me in Southwest Georgia at a cabin I rented on a large cattle and sheep farm. It was supposed to be a great place by their webpage, and it was not. It is October 2024. I rented a 2-room cabin, and when I got there, it was 1 room. I was pissed to say the least. There was not a sofa. There was not a sofa that made into a bed. I told my friend to be a brother, as if he dared to get anything other than I would gut him, and he knew I would. He understood. I've hunted my whole life and never let anyone ever hurt me again like my ex-husband did years ago. Oh, I hate hearing that. I have a new man who's like you, Steve, a real man, and I apologize for rambling. All good, I ramble all the time. I let it go as it was late and I wanted to enjoy being away from my little homestead. I'd made a bonfire. We enjoyed the evening talking about the old days. And the next day I had set up a horseback riding, and 2 hours before we were to go there, I was called and told it can't happen. Really? Here we go again. And it got worse from there. My friend was disappointed, as I was, and he kept bitching about it. I told him to get over it and make the best of it. He's a real pussy, as he's from San Francisco, a city boy, and has no knowledge of the outdoors like myself. He lives in Kentucky now, like all people from California, going to places in the country and ruining it. And you will see what I mean later regarding the pussy, a.k.a. sissy man. Oh, that makes me laugh. The second day was shit. There was nothing to do. Their property was a dump with 2 large pigs and a few chickens running around behind their country store. I'd give you the name of the place, but I don't want to tell anyone to know where I had the experience. I can see all the idiots out there like that guy. I won't use any names. Wanting or other the liars at the ranch making any more money than they don't deserve. To make things worse, the air conditioning was not working. I pulled the cover off the condenser and it was covered with a layer of dust that almost looked like wool, and it was ruined. The people offered another place, but my friend insisted we should stay, and I said okay. So they brought us a fan as well as some beer from their store and we had bought earlier to appease me. I said I'm good. Let's get ready to eat. I got the grill ready as I brought filet mignon to cook, as I always bring my own food. And I had just put the steaks on the grill when I heard a howl from the deep woods. I knew what it was. However, I wasn't afraid at first. I thought it was my tree people coming to say hello, and it was not them. It was a very beautiful black tree man, but he's not happy. He had red glowing eyes. He did scare me. I said to him, "What the hell? I'm family." He did not move. My friend saw him. I told him not to be afraid. He did not even hear me. He went into the cabin, packed up his shit, and left me there as he was terrified. Pussy. She said that, not me. He could have helped me. While he was pulling out, I yelled at him to help me clean up, and I'll also go. And he left so fast, and all I could see is the dust from his car. So here I am, with a new tree man that I didn't know, and I was afraid as well. I said, "Please leave me alone," and nothing. And then it was maybe 2 minutes, I heard more screaming deeper in the woods, and holy hell, now what? I'm packing my car as quickly as I can, and I know better than to confront one with red eyes. I looked out to see if he was still there, and he was gone. And then a feeling of calm came over me. And I heard mine speak, quote, "We are here," end quote. When I looked out into the forest, I saw the golden eyes as well as blue eyes glowing, and they were here. And I started crying. At that moment, I knew I'd be okay. They told me to go home. I finished packing up my things and left for home at 9 p.m. And the entire time I was driving the 250 miles home in the dark, I felt safe. It seemed it was a much shorter ride the way home. I don't know why, but all I knew is that I was safe. I made it back to Northeast Florida at my home, and I wasn't really tired, so I went into the back of my house in the sunroom. And that is where they let me know they were with me. I simply heard owls hooting, a lot of them, and I knew it was them. I finally got to bed with my wonderful man and slept like never before. I want the people to know there are good and bad tree people, and I'm proof of that. I never wish to see another bad one ever. I still hear my tree family from time to time. I know I'm safe here at my home and grateful for them as I feel I am adopted since I was a 6-year-old child. And by the way, I do not seek them ever. They always know where I am and come when I'm in danger. Hope this helps some people. Appreciate you, Steve, for having this place for us to share these moments into our lives. Truly from Florida. Wow. Well, truly, there's going to be a lot of people that are shaking their heads going, yeah, right. Right? It's a bit of a bold, I shouldn't say bold. It's a bit much for a lot of people to take in, especially when there's so many people out there that kind of don't believe. There's a lot of people out there that want to see one of these people, but they've looked everywhere and they can't. And then here's somebody that comes on board and says, I've been friends with them since I was 6, and they follow me around. Do I believe it? I do not believe you, that's for sure. But one thing I think about when you said that, about how far away you were and the same tree people were there, is an Alaskan researcher that I think he sent me a book years back, and he just flat out came forward and said flat out, and when he realized something else is going on then besides just a plain monkey or gorilla, he said flat out he was out researching somewhere a long shit pile ways from home, and they were letting out calls and noises and making sounds. Nothing. And then he got home, got out of his vehicle, and they made the exact same sounds he was making hundreds of miles away, or whatever it was. Excuse me. And they were doing that in his backyard the second he got out of his car. And then he knew there's much going on here. So there you go. Not the first person to share with us about having some experiences with some individuals at point A, and the same individuals instantly being at point B, which can be hundreds of miles away. Explain that one, you guys, right? Take from it what you will or leave it. Now, one more quick mention. I don't think I mentioned earlier in my opening rant, but just so you guys know, I don't delete comments. All right? Somebody accused me of deleting their comments, and I know that you guys, there's a lot of you out there that have comments deleted, and you know they get deleted, and you know it's not me. I don't know how YouTube does it, or why, what their algorithm is, and how they choose and pick what comments to delete, but it's them. So if you guys have that happen, just mix up your words and throw down a comment again. You know what I mean? But it's not me. Now, next email, personality types of Sabe. We heard about this earlier. Please share this. Ken from Northwest Arkansas here. I hope you and Sarah are enjoying your vacation. I just watched your video posted today titled, A lady writes in with 2 detailed encounters. And at the end, you read an email regarding personality types. I've recently been looking into that subject for introspect for my own personal growth. I am what they call a Sigma, and we're a small percentage of men, less than 1% of the population. Because of our mental attitude and type of people, because of our mental attitude, hold on a minute, my glasses are gross. Because of our mental attitude and type of people we are, I'll venture to wage many of those that have experiences are Sigma males. Quick description of a Sigma. We are searchers for truth. Like you, we are blunt to the point and tell the truth as we believe it, but are willing to change those beliefs as we learn. Sigmas can but don't lead, yet are confident. We watch others and can read people well and are always aware of our surroundings. We don't like small talk, always looking for more in-depth subjects to discuss. That's a short, abbreviated synopsis. I'm one of your so-called researchers, but mostly research things of interest to me and will write in when you hit on a subject I've looked into and share what I've learned. I hope this email might have helped you and others as we follow our paths of learning and knowledge. I had a couple of weird experiences deer hunting this past fall I'll share at a later date that may be related to the Sabe people. God bless everyone, and thanks for sharing, Steve. All right, no problem, man. Thanks for writing in. That's interesting. Sigma. I can kind of relate to that in a way. Maybe I'm one. I don't know. Oh, and here's another one from Trudy. Hold on a second. Must be an add-on, but it says, Steve, I forgot to say my family tree people that came to rescue me were the ones that have been with me from the age of 6. They were red and still beautiful as they always have been to me. I do not seek them. I send them love, and I'm sure I get it back. I'm 67 years young with 0 medical issues. I use only essential oils, mineral salts, and plants for my health. The answer to the question as to how the big man killed those hogs, he beat them on the trees. I guess that's why the blood. I don't know more as I was a child. I will say again, the female, mama, tree people gave me courage, which I needed later in life from an ex who beat me. Never again. Much love to all my family here at the How to Hunt. Truly in Florida. There you go. Appreciate that. I'm glad you're finding peace and love. We all need to find it wherever we can. And the tree, I do remember asking, how did they kill the hogs? And I know I've heard one detailed account where a hunter watched one stalking tree to tree, and then ran up and slapped a hog into the side of a tree and killed it. Holy shit, and flashed as lightning. You imagine sitting there in a tree stand watching that shit go down right in front of you? And then having to tell that story to somebody? And then remember we had a while back too, a few years back, we had somebody from Australia wrote in and showed us tracks, blood, drag marks, and a wild boar torn in half. Remember that? And laying there. I wonder why he tore it in half and never killed it. They probably had enough of the greasy bastards, just like we have, right? The wild hogs. Here's one titled, Ontario, Canada Activity. Hello, my name is Mike, and I just started watching you on YouTube. Very brave. Anyway, had a sighting of a large creature galloping across the highway here in Ontario back in 2017. I have a vivid memory of it, and can provide all details in the 8 to 10 seconds I had in viewing it. Moving ahead, the bike trail that's nearby, an old CN rail line now paved and owned by Tay Township, Tay Township, I use here in southern Georgian Bay. It was a very interesting year, as I have 3 videos and stills from each that are crazy. If you're interested, I will send with all details. Lots to say. Mike. All right, Mike. Well, let her rip. Let her rip. That's a recent email. We're always interested in anything that has to do with this topic or other true knowledge. Sorry, I'm doing something here. We are very interested in knowledge. Honest, true knowledge, all right? And especially when it comes to knowledge that's being kept from us. And everybody knows I'm not a big fan of video or photos myself. I don't need it myself, right? But I am the conduit of all these experiences to you guys, so I'm not the one to stop you from seeing something because I'm not into it. So there, if you want to share it, I'll guarantee you there's a shit pile of people here that want to see it, so give her. Now, who's next? I still got the neighbor above, scream, talking, echoing across all the other people's suites here. It's almost, you know, when people do that, it's almost, I mean, I'm not that guy that blows a gasket, but I'll tell you what, it's borderline for me to stick my head out and go, hey, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit. What are you doing? Get inside and talk. Yell talk. He's literally echoing across the next building over the pool. Anyway, sorry about that. This next email is titled Trail Cams. Hi, Steve. Mike Sweeney here. You can use my name anytime. Okay, gotcha, Mike. You're a brave man. I've emailed you several times before. I'll try to make this brief. I've heard some alleged respected researchers talk about this many times. Number 1, Sasquatch knows where trail cams are because of the IR function. Number 2, Sasquatch knows where trail cams are because they smell the lithium batteries. No shit, I never heard that one. First, it can't be the IR. The IR is inactive until the camera picks up motion. And guess what? Busted. Photo already taken. Second, in my case, I do not use, nor do I know many who use lithium batteries in trail cams. More expensive. Typically, they are alkaline batteries. Not always, but usually. And now, unless I'm missing something here, then I'd like to be schooled. If these forest people can shapeshift, disappear, reappear, and use mind speak, then to me it makes sense they just know where the cameras are. That's all I got for this time, Steve. Thanks for this forum, Mike. Okay, man, appreciate it. Well, what we have had reported in numerous times is the word on the street is they know before you even get out of your truck who you are, what your demeanor is, and what your goal is for the day or whatever you're doing. That's the word on the street. Do I believe it? I don't disbelieve it. At this stage of the game, I have realized for myself, anything is possible in this existence. It almost makes me frustrated and angry that we are taught that some things are impossible when it's not. And okay, but I'm going to eliminate a man becoming pregnant. All right, now that's bullshit. But anyway, before I ramble too much. So the beam, the triggers, how do we know they can't see that? And furthermore, we've had how many people have emailed in and said they saw nothing, looked in their phone camera viewer and seen it. Looked away, didn't see anything, or was it vice versa? Whatever. We've got children seeing them right in front of them. Meanwhile, the adults can't see them. We've got batteries going dead during an experience, and the batteries come back to life after it's all said and done. Dozens of times. People I know have had that happen. So, Simple scent of the batteries, I'm going to eliminate that myself. I don't know for certain, but from what I do know from listening to all you guys, I'm going to eliminate the scented battery thing for sure. They know. They know what's up. These beings are not animals, and they are absolutely intelligent over us. That's just all there is to it. Sasquatch message to humanity. All right, here we go. Hello, Steve. I'm writing to you from Saskatchewan, from a farm straight west of Saskatoon. This will be a fairly long email because I'll tell you my grandson's experience just on Christmas Eve here early afternoon. Then I'll tell you what I told him and why. My daughter was out with her young kids, the oldest being about 11. He wanted to play outside, so I told him to go see the lambs down by the barn. We were talking in the kitchen and could see him playing with the dog on the snow hill down by the barn. The next thing I know, he's coming in saying, "Grandma, guess what happened?" I said, "What?" He said, "I was down by the barn and the air got weird. It got electrical or static. I don't remember the word he used. I looked over the bales at the field and there was a large, dark figure standing watching me." My daughter said something to him, and his reply was, "You look like a man, a really big man." So I decided to walk to the house. I looked back and he was still standing there. And he raised his hand to me like this. He said, as he raised his hand to his shoulder and held it palm out. I laughed and said, "Boy, are you lucky. That was my Sasquatch neighbor." He said hi to you. That's a very rare thing to happen. So, he must see a lot of light in you. We had a nice conversation about the same, and I told him that seeing a Sasquatch is like an initiation into the spiritual awakening. It kickstarts your awareness that there is more to this world than meets the eye. Yeah, actually, that about nails it on the head, doesn't it? So on the note of Sasquatch appearing to the young boys, you asked a while ago for verification of the report that First Nations male youth are taken out to learn from Sasquatch in the Lloydminster area. Well, guess what? Blank, blank, God gave you verification. I was driving north of Rosetown, Saskatchewan when I picked up a hitchhiker. Just late November? I think he meant just last November. My daughter was with me, and just do you know, I don't pick up hitchhikers. Okay, just so, there's gonna be some typos here, you guys, no big deal. And just so you know, I don't pick up hitchhikers. But I thought I recognized this guy and stopped to help him out, only to realize when he came to the window, there was a stranger. But I gave him a ride anyways. There are no accidents in life. So we're driving down the Highway 4 in the dark with a total stranger and decided to make small talk. Where are you from, etc. Well, he was from the Lloydminster area, but was now in North Battleford. I asked him, "Oh, you're from Lloyd? Hey man, I heard on howtohunt.com that First Nations send their young men out to the bush to learn from Sasquatch. Is that true? Did you know anything about that?" Well, the silence was deafening in the dark, and this guy says, pause. "Yeah." Another long pause. Then he says, "Yeah, that is true." Says, "Really? What do they teach them?" And another long pause, and he goes, long pause. They teach them to care for the earth and animals and about spirits and stuff." By that time, we got to Biggar. And just so you guys know, Biggar is a town of Saskatchewan where the world record buck is from. Actually, world record whitetail game from Biggar. By that time, we got to Biggar, where I left him off, and to continue on. So there you have it. Yes, the First Nations do honor and learn from Sasquatch, who prefer to be called Sabe, as told by a lady who interacts with them, and First Nations. This information is verified by a lady who channeled Sasquatch on a video series called Speaking of Sasquatch. They told her they want to help us care for the All One, the Earth brings and the Earth Mother. The Earth brings and the Earth Mother, amongst a lot of other things, which some I shall mention here. I have had several interactions with Sabe, and have made meticulous notes on what people are reporting Sabe are saying to them through mind-speak communications. Their beliefs so much parallel the principles of the Bible, the basic 10 commandments. Let me show you, but first, let them answer some basic questions. Source of info included. Question: Are Sasquatch Nephilim? Most Christians scream, hell yeah. They say no. This one comes from Cryptids Canada, a lady that sent in the series 15 Years with Sasquatch, Part 5. Her name is Julie. The excerpt is at the 4:20 time frame on the video. I asked Mama, Sasquatch, are you Nephilim? Mama looked hurt and said, we're not them. They look like us but have no regard for life or the Creator. Where the giants at Lovelock Cave, Afghanistan, you are Nephilim. Mama, they are Nephilim. How do you know the difference? Mama says, held up her hand showing her palm and fingers. They, the Nephilim, have more fingers and toes. We have 5, same as you. As well, Mama said, Nephilim hair is thin and doesn't cover like Sasquatch does, and Nephilim are taller. We are not Nephilim. We are made by the Creator as you are made by the Creator's hand. Mama Sasquatch had this lady Julie search out facts to verify in texts like the Bible, Sumerian texts, Mayan, Aztec, First Nations, as well as Tibetan, and some from North and South America. Mama said, look for answers in spiritual texts. This is why people don't find answers. They don't want to hear spiritual truth because it scares them and challenges them to wake up. So, Mama Sasquatch herself said, seek out scriptural texts. So, let's do that. I only have a Bible and a Quran, so we'll start with the Bible comparison after the next question. Question: what does Sabe see when they see humans? According to a lady named Barb Hendrickson, on verbal contact with Sasquatch at the 23.41 minute spot, she describes seeing humans through Sasquatch eyes as white beings of shimmering light with physical size and shape and features indescribable. Steve and viewers, what do you think God looks like? Check the spiritual text of the Bible. Ezekiel, shitty pronunciation, I know. Ezekiel 1, verse 26-27. 26. And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the appearance of the likeness of the throne was the likeness of the appearance of a man above upon it. 27. And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward. I was as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about. 28. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. I just today heard you say, the guy who channels the Palladians, say, all humans are light beings, and all have the potential to be much higher frequency beings and can have a much higher frequency. That would be because, according to the scriptures, all humans are made in the image of their Creator, who is God. I also heard you read from the Owlman today, in fact, that the Sasquatch/Sabe, number 1, aren't allowed to steal. Number 2, or to kill or hurt us for no reason. Number 3, they believe in the Creator and taking care of the earth. Number 4, they are concerned about the day of knowing. I heard you read it from him another time as the day of accounting or something like that. Well, gee, where have we heard all this stuff before? Could it be the text that has the basic 10? Like, honor God, honor your parents, don't steal, don't kill, and you, Steve, read an account today of a fellow that went out and told Sasquatch he wanted to worship God with them, and they showed up, and he was too scared to go out to see them. They responded to an invitation to worship God, the Creator. Seriously, that in itself tells you a lot about them. So, let's get on with comparing the Sasquatch message to humanity with God's message to humanity. Oh yeah, and just for extra verification on what humans look like without a body. They look like a shimmering white light in the shape of in the shape of the deceased loved one, but without the clear facial distinguishing. It's what I saw in my husband before he died in a dream of his funeral. My daughter has seen him 2 times, and he looks like Tim, but as a shimmering white being. So let's hear what Sasquatch message to humanity is. I'm using the highlights, main points of 4 of the 9 episodes of Speaking of Sasquatch, super condensed. First, the Sabe calls spiritual bodies their light body. They say it's not about science, it's about spirit, becoming one with the All-One. The hairless ones, that's what they refer to us as, have separated themselves from the All-One. The All-One has not separated from you. Sabe have not turned from the light. Sabe have not turned from the light of the All-One. Sabe are here to help us to see and be the light, to remember who we are. We must relapse all fear. Fear dims the beam of light that reaches to the heart. If humans continue to fear, they will be in darkness, and it will be more difficult for them. If the hairless ones don't disappear, the fear and darkness with the awakened light in their hearts, then they will disappear. When your people know the light and be the light, they will recognize they are part of the All-One. When we recognize and honor ourselves as part of the All-One, then we will be in the light. The heart is the center. The light comes to the heart from the All-One. Then the heart makes a connection to the All-One on the beam of light. Remember the light energy and be the light energy in our heart in order to shine the light to others, to all that is. Invite the light into your heart with your breath. The light comes into the heart on your breath. Use the light to make the light stronger. The intention makes the light strong. The shining is the beams of light energy coming from within the being of one of your people. They, Sabe, can see and feel the glowing of one of us. That verifies what the other lady said about Sabe seeing humans as light beings, 2 witnesses. In order to be with the Sabe, your people, us, have to not have the fear of the truth of the All-One. We must first see the light, then we must ask the light to come to us. The hairless ones must feel and see the light in their own heart. They must not fear to shine the light. The light must be the most important to them. When the light is in their heart and they shine the light, they will know our people and the All-One. And that's the crux of the first 4 episodes. Sabe are appearing more because mankind is quickly narrowing the possibilities for this earth to our home and to theirs. They are stumbling in the dark, and they are trying to inspire us to seek the light, and that walking with our Creator, the All-One, and His light is the only way to turn the darkness of this world around and bring light. So, for all the viewers and you, Steve, how does that compare to God/Creator's message to humanity? Let's choose the word Creator instead of God, because that's the name given by Sabe, First Nations, Jews, Muslims, and Christians. All recognize God as creator, so let's go with that. I find this quite fascinating. Some things the Bible says about light, fear, and truth. Oh, fear. Steve, you're always encouraging people to not be afraid. This is what it says. 2 Tim, 1 verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Recall, Sasquatch said you must invite the light into your heart on your breath. Recall, they say we must honor and recognize that we are a part of the All-One, that will be in the light. And the Sabe also say that hairless ones must put away fear from them because fear slows down the flow of light into our hearts. Well, listen to this. 1 John 4, starting at verse 12. No man has seen Creator, God, at any time. If we love one another, God dwells in us, and his love is perfected in us. Verse 14, whoever shall confess that Jesus is the Son of God, God dwells in him, and he in God, Creator. Verse 17, herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in the world. Verse 18, there's no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear has torment, and that fears is not made perfect, and that fears is not made perfect in love. So, by confessing, saying with belief that Jesus is the Son of God, our Creator, you're actually doing what Sabe say. You're recognizing and honoring yourself as part of the Creator, or all one. And that's what brings the light and love into your heart. Recall, Sabe said, hairless ones must not have fear of the truth of the all one. What is truth? John 17, verse 17 tells us, Jesus said to Creator, sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth. Then in John 16, verse 13, he says, however, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. How do you get the Spirit of truth that leads you into all truth? John 14, verse 15 on says, 15, if you love me, keep my commandments. Number 16, and I will pray the Father, and he will give you another comforter, and he may abide with you forever. 17, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it sees him, neither knows him, but you know him, for he dwells with you and shall be in you. Verse 26, but the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatever I have said to you. Do you want truth? The Sabe said, you cannot be afraid of the truth of the All One. Truth is a living being, a spirit, a bright light that leads you into the All One's truth. And that is how you connect to the light. Now, on to what it says about the light. Jesus said on John 12, verse 46, quote, I am come a light into the world, that whoever believes in me should not abide in darkness. You know, Steve, that don't mean darn right darkness. That means the darkness of a soul that I've heard you describe as the dark sons of bitches that are hiding the truth and lying to us all. The kind of folks who deliberately and intentionally hurt others. It also says in John 8, verse 12, I am the light of the world. He that follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. John 3, verse 18 to 21 says, 19, and this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and in loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Whilst did Jesus say about us? John 5, verse 14, you are the light of the world. Ephesians 5, verse 8, for you were sometimes darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. And finally, the last word on light, it is John 1, verse 1 and on. Verse 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Verse 2, the same was in the beginning with God. Verse 3, all things are made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Number 4, in him was life, and the life was the light of men. Number 5, and the light shows in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Verse 9, that was the true light that lightened every man that comes into the world. Number 10, he was in the world, and the world was made by him, but the world knew him not. Number 11, he came to his own, and his own received him not. Number 12, but to as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believed on his name. That, incidentally, is how you get your name written in the Lamb's book of life, which will be opened at the great throne, just judgment, which Sasquatch had indicated to Owlman is a concern for them, as it should be for every hairless one. That would be us. So, Steve, please tell the Sabe a message from me. Your voice goes two ways here, you see. Tell them for me, thank you for sharing some of your spiritual beliefs with us. And thank you for caring about the future of humanity enough that you interrupt our lives randomly with sightings that scare the hell out of us and sounds that raise the hair on our necks. It is my sincere prayer, Sabe people, that you understand that you don't have to fear the great throne judgment. If believe on the name of Jesus, the salvation of God, please ask him for his spirit and light to lead you into all truth. And this applies across the board. All people need to submit their life to the Creator and to his word, which is his salvation. It's the only way to bring the light into your heart on your breath. The word Yahweh, which is spelt YHWH, is actually the inhale and exhale of the breath. Breathe in deeply and out, and you'll hear the sound Yahweh. I invite everyone to consider your heart and ask yourself, do I have the light of the Creator in me? If you have a doubt, ask the Creator to send his light into your heart, believe in the name of the Jesus, and be saved. The best decision you can make when all them dark sons of bitches get huddling in their war rooms planning on blowing your ass out of the water so they can have more control or whatever. Turn to light. Put off darkness and fear and stand up for right in this world. Thank you, Steve, for reading this. I hope this is added to someone's understanding. Have a good day. Corleen. All right, there we go. That was a long one. It's a good one. And no matter what your take on that is, there's nothing bad in there. Right? There's nothing in there bad shared with us today. So take for what we'll leave it. But there's definitely something to be said about being fearless, right? Think about it. Just as you concentrate on being fearful, period. If men and women, if human beings were not scared of anything, there wouldn't be any wars. There wouldn't be any killing, right? There wouldn't be any wars if we didn't have fear in us. But anyway, there we go. I'm going to get on my, what have I got? It's evening here now, so that means it's probably 2 in the morning for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to go out and find Sarah. She's out there somewhere. And get this day going. Tomorrow we're going to go to some place where there's a bunch of monkeys running around. She loves the monkeys. I don't. I think they're dirty little bastards. And they can all gang pile on you and bite you anytime they feel like it and steal your shit. There's nothing you can do about it. But she wants to see them, so we'll go see them. But anyway, there you go. Do what you love to do. Don't fear anyone and don't fear anything. I will repeat that nonstop. I'll see you guys later on. Share my story at howtohunt.com.